What's happening, fellas? It's your boy Hardcorn, and today we're back with another new character in Action Taimanin. It's Lapis. You know her, you'll love her, and she's finally here in the game, and we're gonna go take a look at her and see what she's got in store, and if she's right for you. Don't forget to hit that like, comment, rate, favorite, and subscribe, so we can get more of these Taimanins out there so you can see if they're the right choice for you. Now let's get started. To start us off, Lapis is a Protect Demon. She is the accompaniment to Shiranui herself, who is a Protect Human, and also now the other Protect Demon in the game that accompanies Ingrid herself. Now, I have her stats at 81 right here, but I don't have them at 75, unfortunately. But let's take a look at what they look like at 81. So for her health, she has 6216. This is now the new highest base HP, and it was formerly Astaroth. Well, Lapis right here just like totally bowls over the competition with her health. It's pretty nuts. She's at 5020. This is now, I think, the second highest attack in the game behind Spinel. In terms of defense, she's pretty middle of the road on this sort of thing. She'll take hits, but the large amount of HP is there to offset it. And 3794 crit is pretty damn terrible. It's some of the lowest in the game, and you'll be needing a lot of help to make sure that she actually crits in the first place. In terms of weapons, Lapis actually shares weapons with Shiranui, as we all expected her to. This makes it so that if you have been building up Shiranui for all these years, all your progress has not gone to waste, as she's already gotten a massive power boost if you've gotten her out of the gate with all your gear for Shiranui. Lapis herself has a pretty, generic setup. We got her limited costume with the desire points, the Peerless Beauty setup, bathrobe. Her rival costume is, of course, not Lapis, Spinel, the bunny girl, look at all that, Femme Fatale, and new coach. I like this one the most. This one's really good. Really solid costumes all the way around. For Affinity, at level 5, she gets an EXP 10% boost. At level 10, it's another 10% boost EXP. At level 15, it's VR coins 10% up. And at level 20, it's BP bonus +2. Now we'll move on to the skills. Lapis herself introduces another passive ability in the form of Devotion. Devotion is when you attack with Lapis herself, other characters will recover 50% of the HP recovered by Lapis from that skill. So if you use your skill Piercing Dash which heals like for say 10,000 HP, other characters will get 5,000 HP off of Lapis's healing skill. This applies to other field skills, supporter skills, you name it. If Lapis heals, everybody gets it. It's a really great way to fight poison or the lightning strikes from VR missions. And that is exactly where Lapis will shine at. I keep wanting to call her Spinel because it's so easy because you see them together all the time. So we'll start off with Stonebreaker. Stonebreaker is where Lapis throws down 1,000,000 carrots for a lengthy way of cutting in enemies. It's a staple of her kit and made to be indirect assistance. It's more or less for arena though, as it has 2 different ways to immobilize your opponent in 2 different colors, or it's just more damage with the 3 streams in green. We'll move on to Skydance next. It gives it an attack down debuff to all enemies hit, and it makes it bigger and stronger with the set effects. It's truly another clone of both the Rondo skills, but without the shielding of Shiranui or the defense down of Shizuru. You spin twice for huge AoE damage and to weaken the enemies. It's pretty straightforward, there's not much to it. You just hit really hard and as fast as possible. Try to get some setup going with some slows or more defense with morale boost, so you can actually survive doing the whole thing. Now here's Comet Spear, her Taimanin art. A common complaint of Shiranui and Shizuru is that their basic attack string is very slow and prone to interruption. This solves it to some extent by making it faster and changes the finisher, which is very welcome. It's a very plain and simple Taimanin art just for direct speed boost, and I can really appreciate how much faster it is, because you can really feel the difference when you don't have it equipped. Piercing Dash is up next. This is a very, very important skill for her. It's a classic dash and slash, but the most important caveat is the blue part in her kit. This is the only melee skill for her that heals. The other colors have more damage or a debuff effect, and it really pales to the heal itself. This is the staple of her kit since it's easy to allow her for having an easy heal and be super aggressive with it. Since he has no hard crowd control in forms of like slows or stuns except in Stonebreaker really, she has to rely on chipping, and this is easy chips to the skill. It's very, very good. You want to run this like all the time. Now gem support. This is the same gem that's in her boss fight, and it does the same effect. You stand in the field to get healed. Red and blue's effects are related to the healing, but it doesn't change the range itself. When things get hot and heavy and it activates, the field is probably going to be on top of the boss or where you probably don't need it. The green effect of attacking automatically is an orbital beam that hits for free. The orbital strikes are just really nice for chipping armor and easy damage off an extreme dodge. All the while, you can heal yourself and other people, so it's just like Spinel's dodge rock. Instead of assault, it's pure defense and support, just like how Lapis is built to be. Now we're on to Gem Spear Shower. Lapis will call forth the same gem spears that she uses from her ultimate and fire them down on a target near her location. This radius is within about 3 meters of her, and if the target moves even just like a little bit, it'll whiff. Another one of her many range skills, and it's kind of unsatisfying to use. Like when this misses, I really feel it. It's really bad. I see this as sort of a single target version of Spear Barrage. This has actually a little bit of AoE when the spears themselves hit, but man, I've actually had like enemies walk out of the range of this, and it's like, all right, that's gonna be down for like 11 seconds, so I guess I'm just waiting now. Awesome. It's really great. Now we're on a Comet Strike. Lapis jumps into the air and knocks enemies up with her, then slams them back down and fires off a few spears in the process before they hit the ground. She goes up, she goes down. There are many skills like this and behave similarly. It behaves mostly like Kurenai's, so if you like hers, then this is the skill for you. It's really the sequel to it. By God, it even has an attack debuff in red. I'm not gonna lie, you're always slotting in Piercing Dash, so having 2 slots left and putting this in it is not the best idea. Spear Barrage. This skill is a lengthy startup but an armored cast, so you can actually complete it. Barrage works exactly like Sora's Celestial Fox. It chases the target and has a huge amount of hits. However, this skill gives a defense buff and ability crit boost, so she can actually deal some damage with it. When I did my run of Tower Floor 100 with her, I used Barrage primarily for the defense boost so she could actually survive really hard hits. And she needs that on something where she's alone and needs to survive for as long as possible until she can turn the thing around. Now we're on to Morale Boost. On a double dash, she plants a banner on the ground to increase defense local to its area and deal damage on impact. It's a pretty cool skill you want to use in conjunction with the gem support. Alone, this skill will allow you to take less damage on casting stuff like her triple color skills. This has more utility in the team features such as like the rest of her kit. And now finally, we're on to Crystallize. On hit, you press dodge as she transforms into a crystal and quickly starts recovering HP. She's not bound to the crystal spawn, so she can still be immobilized outside of the crystal through being hit. That's real quality programming right there, Gremory. I love that stuff. This skill also has a knockback and does damage on arrival. The healing is extremely fast, but not really enough worth justifying holding out for the entire duration. In fact, since this is a skill you use on hit, you will be more likely to get out of the crystal animation and only get the knockback out of it. Well, y'all asked for her, and now she's here. Now let's conclude on good old Lapis right here. She has a very sizable split on her attacks being melee or ranged. She can go in the fray and do some damage and heal up, and she can also stay ranged in the back and assist everybody else in trying to stay alive and keep the group going from damage over time effects or just really hard hits. Taking her to tower where she's probably going to be alone, you'll eventually have success, but it'll be a little bit slow. She just really shines in grouped content since that's what she's designed for. Her passive ability healing the team whenever she heals is a lot easier to connect than Felicia's debuff. That's not to say you can't bring both Felicia and Lapis together to effectively become invincible. However, that means when she connects, it's affected by stuff like HP recovery down and other horrendous debuffs. Her healing also being tied to a field and a channel skill make for high-risk heals. However, the amount healed will certainly be able to outweigh the costs, if you can get him off. However, she takes on such a task with grace and poise to keep the group going for as long as possible. Though, much like many characters who share the Shiranui body type, they are hard carried by that aspect to mask the fact that they walk a path of mediocrity and niche situations. When they get caught out or in an attrition, they have to win with either overwhelming force or a very slow burn. That's on the alone side though. As a team, they can cover each other's weaknesses and Lapis rounds that out with very good healing and defense. With her, you can finally run the mommy team of your dreams and be very successful for it. I can't believe how many times I've heard people just like, I don't want to run Felicia because she's the flatty without a cause. As much as I like Felicia, I can see what they mean. Now you can finally have the cow that makes you say wow, and that's Lapis. Thank you for coming by, everybody. Hope you all have a good time with Lapis, and I'll see you next time.